Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of How to Swim, the guide for free-to-play and low spenders players of Lord of the Rings Rise to War. I am Mr. Falgin and today we will talk about tank commanders. But why? I am once again talking about tank commanders because the tank is probably the most important commander in your formation, because without him your other commanders in the formation will die too soon in battle and your formation will not be as effective as it could be. Here I present you a list of what a tank commander is meant to do for your formation, but specifically I want to talk about the taunt skill. Taunt damage on his own troops at least for the first 2 or even 3 rounds in a fight. What is taunt? Taunt means to force your opponents to hit specific target. As the troops in the tank formation, taunting damage is important, always, to prevent the other commanders in your formation to die too early during a battle. But there is a itty-bitty problem, which is, in this game, not a single commander possesses a taunting skill. So, where can we how can we give this skill to our commanders? Assigning them specific units that possess this taunting skill. Those troops are known as tank troops. And Vince, which are those tank troops? Boom! Tank troops are the Mountain Trolls, the Swan Knight and Great Beast. Only these 3 troops are tank. The 2 trolls are not tank units. Only Mountain Trolls, the 3 trolls are tanks. Swan Knight are a T4 and Great Beasts are neutral unit they are a T3. Great Beasts are neutral units that you can find in Rune or with a new update in a specific barracks that you can unlock once you reach a specific level of your ring power. Now, how can those troops can taunt? Thanks to a specific skill. For the Mountain Trolls, the skill is called Massive Presence, and let's read it together. For the first 3 rounds, each round, 100% of chance to make 3 enemies formation normal attacks only target this unit, meaning that all the instances of damage that are not coming from a skill will hit this specific unit. Poor guy. All the attacks that came from a skill, like for example a damage dealer commander, Saruman, Dain, or whatever, that will use not only normal attacks but specific damaging skills, will not hit necessarily these troops. And the same will happen with the Swan Knight. The Swan Knight will not literally taunt the damage. They will intercept the damage thanks to a skill called the Protector. Protector means that take damage from enemies' normal attacks on behalf of other units. They will protect 2 other units, not all the units. So their way of taunting is a little bit different. It's still very effective though. They are very expensive because they of course are T4. Bulwark for the Great Beast is on paper the best solution for a tank, because what does it say? 3 enemy formations will prioritize attacks on this unit. What does it mean? It means that not only normal attacks, but skill damage too will preferably eat those poor rhinos. What does that mean? It means that not only for a specific time, so not for just 2 or 3 rounds, but for all the fight, those poor rhinos will be attacked by everything. It means that those poor rhinos will die very soon. So they, even if their defense is not bad, they have a huge HP pool, they are just okay-ish for tank units. The trolls are very good, they are great. And the Swan Knight, personally, I think they are the best. Personally. But I generally like Man and Evil Man. Haha. Mountain Trolls are usually the standard tank unit. Boom. Those are a list. This is a list of the best full tank gears. Meaning that if you give one of those piece of gears to a tank commander, it probably is the best or just a good solution. Remember that before you switch from a purple gear to a gold gear, the gold gear should have at least one star of refining, because Cutlass, for example, when you refine it at 5 star, it will have 130 command stat. When Reckoning has only 120. So for now, it's probably better to use a purple gear until you can refine Reckoning for at least one time. I present you also some hybrid solutions, and those are gears that can work for your tank commanders when probably your commander requires some other statistics, like for example the commanders that can use some focus, so Nodo Sword is a very good solution for his high command, or commanders that are boosters or they are just not able to use the best gears, for example Reckoning. At this point probably you are talking about a booster commander, for example Gil-galad or Isildur, and you can give them gigantic hammer, not armor. It's a very good solution for an hybrid commander. And finally, here we have, let me fuck myself out, we have finally a list of commanders. This is not a tier list, it's just a list of the commanders that are, on paper at least, a good solution, or generally the best solution as a tank. We have main tanks like Frodo or Boromir. They are free to play friendly commanders. They are amazing for free to play, probably the best solution for free to play, honestly. And technically free to play friendly, technically Falgin, but Falgin is as fat as Resist, because the only way to make Falgin work is to give all the other commanders dwarf units. He's simply resisted. I don't want to talk about Falgin. I just hate Falgin. So we will say we have main tank commanders as Frodo or Boromir, and we also have commanders that are not technically tanks, like for example Gil-galad, Thorin, Witch King, or Galadriel, Isildur, Kirun, and Undying. They are not technically tanks, but for example Gil-galad is technically a booster, Thorin is technically a booster, Witch King and Undying are whatever they like, they are hybrid commanders. Galadriel is a support or a damage dealer. Isildur is technically a booster as Kirun. They are not technically tanks, but they work very well as tanks. For example, tanks in case for Isildur. Isildur possesses a damage reduction and illusion on himself, meaning that if you assign him, I'm not assuming his gender, them. If you assign him a tank unit, he will probably be able to stay alive. As Frodo, they have the same skill for illusion, the top R0 if I'm not wrong. Same, top R0. Other commanders that are not necessarily tanks are Galadriel and Undying. They don't possess damage reduction as all the others, except for Witch King. But Witch King is R4 skill, which is a static sticks something. Galadriel and Undying will be able to be good tanks, mostly because of their ability of self-sustaining themselves and their troops, because they can provide a shitload of healing. The other very important, let me clean this mess. The other very important skill I want to talk about for tanks is the illusion. The illusion, basically, what is illusion or avoidance? It's a chance of dodging an enemy instance of damage. Almost every commander, except for Ugluk, Witch King, Thorin, and the lady, and Kirun, possess illusion. Frodo and Isildur, as I said, can only launch illusion on themselves. The other commanders, not even this fucker, the other commanders will launch illusion or on randomly selected troops as Undying and Boromir, or Gil-galad will launch illusion exclusively on elves. Oh, and then I want to spend a little word about Sauron. Sauron technically is not a tank. Actually, Sauron is nothing and everything at the same time. Sauron is one of the best commanders in the game, hands down. He can do whatever he likes. He was a decent damage dealer. I don't recommend him as a damage dealer because even if possessed 2 damage dealing skills, they are not important for damage. They provide madness and a stun, which means that he also can work greatly as a support or a tank, or now a booster. Booster with Snaga. Snaga Sauron is probably in the current meta, but I don't like to force you to think about meta and this shit. As I said, this is not a tier list. There is not a best commander over all of those except for Falgin. Falgin sucks. They are all good tanks, good alternatives. Let me come back. They are all good commanders except for Falgin, he sucks. And you have just now, for now, try to make some tests. Find the best alternative you like. Try to give them the gears we said, at least for now. And when we start talking about the single builds, in the next video, I suppose, we will start personalizing the gears. But for now, I want you, homework, test all those commanders, even Falgin if you like to do kinky shit, and give them the purple gears. Assign them the purple gears, give them one of those, and let me know down in the comment. For now, bye bye, and thank you.